her not breaking from Biden on Gaza, the second order impact that it depresses activists. And, that was clear under, when Biden was the candidate. I think there were other things that they did wrong. Like they should have kept doing the weird thing because it was the only way to sort of like make it harder for the Republicans to define her positions and to make the. But I'm saying us. Like us.
Oh, you mean the commentators? You mean commentators?
Well, commentators or listeners. We see that poll October 12th. What's the best thing for us to do in that situation?
Gosh, I guess to raise our voices and hope that she'll change. I think at that point it's so late. It's sort of like one of those things is somebody took a gut shot, because they didn't want to wear body armor. And, you're asking me what's the best triage I could do at the last second. And the answer is, well, in the future, wear the body armor. Like, you're bleeding out. There's nothing we could do to rescue you at that point.
In that case, it's like completely unactionable.
And from our point of view, yeah. Like, can we lift millions of people off the couch by saying you've got to vote for Kamala Harris no matter what she supports?
Well,
I don't think we can. I don't think we have that ability.
I don't know if we could lift millions of people. Do you think we could lift one?
Not enough to swing any of these, especially like I'll give you an example. Like in Michigan.
What's more likely? Looking at that poll in October and getting Kamala Harris's campaign to change, when in fact, the problem obviously was without the process of a primary, it has implications both for the candidate and for the voting population, right? And I'm just curious at that point in terms of you see that poll in terms of where we're situated. What's the best reaction in terms of the most in terms of efficacy? I think it's pretty clear. Maybe at that point, there's maybe no winning, but let's just assume you got a month. I'm just curious as to what becomes the most sort of valuable response to that.
I don't think you're going to like my answer, which is basically telling Kamala Harris that you will not support her unless she changes on these issues that are severely damaging her campaign, and you use your voice as kind of a proxy for all the millions of people that you see that are not going to turn out. And maybe if she turns, it might be too late to turn the Titanic at that point because it's steaming full speed ahead at the iceberg. But that's what I tried to do. I was always open and said, hey, I want to support Kamala Harris. If she will break with Biden on Gaza, especially if she'll offer a couple platform positions that progressives can sell, I'm easy. My standards are extremely low. But she instead leaned into I would do nothing differently. Joe Biden was a great president.
I know what she did.
You're asking me, how do I turn the Titanic from, from the violin chair? And it's you can't. All I can do is raise my voice and say, hey, iceberg ahead. And that's what I did.
Well, you're not just saying iceberg ahead, because I think, saying iceberg ahead is not the only thing. It may have no impact to run to the starboard side of the boat and help the boat turn,
right.
Whatever the starboard, I don't know the two sides. Let's just say it may help the boat avoid the iceberg by running to the left side. And maybe more people do that. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But I don't know. It seems like you just felt like you were just going to yell iceberg.
Well, I did what I could, to advocate for a platform that could win, and I try to use evidence-based arguments for it.
Once you determine, without that platform, once you determine she's not going to do it, and she's not going to change because of your Twitch stream or our Twitch stream, it's more likely, it seems to me, if you or I or people of our ilk have any influence at all, we might be able to get a couple of people to vote in one way or not. I don't know, or at the very least, if there's any reason for us to even engage in this stuff, we might have more. You got to assume a couple, and it it feels like that to me is a more productive thing than,
Blame the
assuming-
voters, blame the commentators and the voters for the campaign's inability
I'm not blaming in the same way. I'm not blaming the people who could run to the other side of the deck for the boat headed to the iceberg. But I'm just saying, what action can you take to avoid that iceberg? Maybe it won't work. Maybe it will.
Okay, no, that's a perfect example. So, I mean, I think with the Titanic, it's going to hit the iceberg. You can calculate it out. I could look at it and I could say, even if all of us stood over here, and I had the perfect knowledge to say that, and we hit the iceberg, my job is to then grab the pistol from whatever member of the security staff and go into the captain's chair and grab a hold of the wheel, for the next election, for the next iceberg.
No.
That's what our job is now at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, but you brought up
the iceberg,
the polling as if it was an issue. And my contention is, that's all well and good. But I mean, there's really, if you think a disaster is coming, you do everything you can to avoid the disaster, as opposed to
Which is what I did. I did everything I could to avoid the disaster. I think people that were kind of soft pedaling Kamala actually made her more likely to lose because, it was very clear that